So good morning everyone and welcome to the part 7, the module 7 of our quarter 2. So in this activity for our earth signs, we are going to talk about the types of igneous rocks. Okay, and so much for that. Backtracking on our previous lessons for our topics. So nalaman natin doon ano-ano ba yung mga factors na nagko-contribute kung paano nag-evolve or nagiging specific rock ang isang molten inert material. Okay, so we can see in here that on the picture itself, on the diagram, andito yung mga tinatawag na types of igneous rocks. Okay, so meron tayong mga tinatawag na extrusive, intrusive at mga plutonic. Alright, so cutting it short, when we are discussing about extrusive rocks, ang cooling time nito is it takes seconds to months, and ang texture niya is invisible or microscopic grains. Okay, sa intrusive naman, cooling time nito, it takes like 1,000 of years, and ang texture niya naman is small to medium grains. Yung tinatawag naman natin na plutonic, ang cooling time niya ay millions of years, at ang texture niya naman ay large grains. So later we will discuss about bakit iba't iba yung mga sizes ng grains and ano-ano pa ba ang mga variety ng mga rocks. Okay, so moving forward then, let us go back to the basic igneous rocks. Okay, diba? How are they being formed? So there is a statement in here na saying, have you ever tried mountain climbing, or did you ever notice different rocks in the mountain trail? Diba? Are they the same, or do they have different colors? Are there crystals, and do they undergo the same process of formation? Okay, and so some of you might think that all rocks are just the same. However, if you study it thoroughly, you will be surprised that there are actually different in terms of their formation, physical, and chemical characteristics. Okay, so sa previous lesson natin, nalaman natin na yung mga rocks can be classified as igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic, and for this particular topic we will be focusing then on igneous rocks and how are they being formed. Okay, now here is one simple diagram showing extrusive igneous rocks cool quickly as the result of these rocks fine-grained or has lack of crystal growth. Sila yung mga pinaka let's say nasa outermost layer ng earth, yan yung pinaka-exposed. And yung intrusive naman, igneous rocks are formed from magma that cools slowly as a result of rocks are coarse grained. Yun doon naman galing yan sa tinatawag nating reservoir or magma chamber. Now, ano nga ba ang igneous rocks? So what is it? Now, here are some best, let's say, statements that could describe it though. Igneous rocks are one of the three major categories of rocks. The word igneous is derived from the Latin word for fire, which means ignis or ignus. These rocks are commonly found in the surface and beneath the earth, specifically in divergent boundaries, convergent boundaries, and subduction zones and hotspots. Not only all igneous rocks have the same physical and chemical characteristics, they differ likewise in origin, process of formation, color, density, size of grains, crystals, and many more. So we go to the part where it's being questioned, how are igneous rocks being formed. Now it is formed through a process of solidification and crystallization of molten rocks, both magma and lava. Now, when hot molten rocks reach the surface of the earth, they undergo changes in temperature and pressure, causing them to cool, solidify, and crystallize. Moreover, there are also solidification and crystallization magma beneath the earth. Pero mas marami po ang nasosolidify sa surface na ng earth. Bakit? Marami na kasi yung tinatawag nating elements, mga coolants na lang kung tawagin natin. Sila yung mga elements or situations na nagko-cool down ng even to the hottest material, even a molten rock, di ba? So, what are the types of igneous rocks based on their formation? Now, kung formation naman ang pag-uusapan natin, igneous rocks can be classified into two. May tinatawag tayong intrusive and extrusive rocks. So below is the comparison of these two types. So, sa intrusive rocks and extrusive rocks, makikita nyo sa chart nito yung point of comparison, okay, from the location to the other terminology or yung ibang tawag sa kanya, to the origin, color, density, even the rate of cooling, and even the size of grains and crystals. So, might as well please take down notes, and it's very important to actually keep a track on this small chart that we have been here. Okay, so let's move forward then. So here are some best examples of intrusive and extrusive rocks. Okay, yan. So simulan natin sa gabbro, diorite, granite, yan, basalt, obsidian, rhyolite, tsaka soria. Yan, because igneous rocks can also be classified according to their composition. They are composed of silica, chemical symbol, chemical compound na SiO2, oxygenated na silica, and not all igneous rocks have the same silica content. Okay, so ang pinaka main element niya is silicon and oxygen, diba? We call it silica then. If there is oversaturation of silica in the magma, its minerals will precipitate. On the other hand, if there is undersaturation of silica in the magma, its minerals will not precipitate and it will not be present in the igneous rocks. The viscosity of magma is also affected because of silica content. Yan. There are four classifications of igneous rocks based on silica content. Meron tayong tinatawag na ultramafic and intermediate and felsic. Okay, so ultramafic, mafic, intermediate, and felsic. Now sa ultramafic igneous rocks, they have a very low silica content, less than 45%. Now, before forming into igneous rocks, its magma has very low viscosity. Its color is ranged to black to olive green. Yan. Their density is very high, and they are rich in pyroxene and olivine minerals. So, halimbawa ng mga rocks na to is yung peridotite and dunite. Yan. Sa mafic igneous rocks naman, they have a low silica content. Okay? Like around 45 to 52, almost half of it is composed of silica or silicon and oxygen. Now, before forming into igneous rocks, its magma has low viscosity, more viscous than ultramafic magma. They usually have black color and their density is high. They are composed of pyroxene and calcium-rich plagioclase feldspar. Yeah. Example of these rocks are gabbro and basalt. So, sa third one, Meron tayong tinatawag na intermediate or intermediate igneous rocks. They have actually a high silica content, more than 50% then, around 53 to 65. Before forming into igneous rocks, its magma has intermediate viscosity. It's even more viscous than the mafic magma. And usually the color is gray and their density is intermediate, and they are composed of biotite, alkali feldspar, quartz, and example of these rocks are diorite and andesite. Yan, just to mention, okay? Meron naman tayong tinatawag na felsic igneous rocks. Now, these are the one with a very high silica content, more than 65% actually of the substance itself. Now, before forming into igneous rocks, its magma has high viscosity, so malapot daw, more viscous than the intermediate magma. So ito yung uri ng lava na pag makikita nyo lumalabas siya sa crater is nagpapadahan-dahan. They have a very light color and their density is very low. They are composed of quartz and alkali feldspar. So example of these rocks are granite and rhyolite. Yan. So yun yung mga best example natin ng 4 types of igneous rocks according to formation then. Alright. And of course content and silica. Now, kanina ko pa binabanggit yung granite, diorite, gabbro, and peridotite. Here is the actual graphic representation. So kung makikita nyo si granite, medyo malalaki yung let's say chunks of variation niya, mga granulated parts niya, di ba? It's like you are seeing the lightness of it, likewise the darkness of it at a certain scale. Which is si diorite naman, medyo moderate lang nun. Okay, so palit ng palit yung mga grains hanggang kay gabbro, hanggang kay peridotite. Yan. So, dyan yung makikita na kapag mas lighter ang rock, it presupposes that it is being precomposed of amongst the alkali or the quartz and feldspar, wherein if it becomes darker, kapag mas nagiging dark daw yung output ng let's say mga nag-cool na molten rocks, yan, kapag mas dark, mas marami ang pyroxene olivine. Yan. So moving forward then, okay, and I hope you were able to catch some idea on this detailed table. So based on the illustration a while ago, you will notice the difference of these 4 classifications of igneous rocks in terms of their color. Ultramafic has the darkest color and the felsic has the lightest color. To some, the higher the silica content is, the lighter its color, while the lower the silica content is, the darker its color. Thus, the amount of silica affects the color itself and the physical appearance overall of rocks. Yan. Okay, now just go through the illustration above. That is actually an illustration showing the differences of ultramafic, mafic, intermediate, and felsic igneous rocks of rock types, kind and percentage of minerals. Yan. Felsic again has the highest silica content, which while ultramafic has the lowest silica content, and on the other hand, felsic is being exposed to, imagine, 700 degrees Celsius, and ultramafic is exposed then to 1200 degrees Celsius or 1200 then. So it means when igneous rock is being exposed to extreme high temperature, its color is darker, while if it is exposed to lower temperature, its color tends to be lighter than. Yan. So, when we talk about texture, yan to, napakadali. All of these are in the Google then. Igneous rocks has different textures. Now, the texture of a rock is the size and the arrangement of the mineral it actually contains. So, meron tayong tinatawag na phaneretic texture, aphanitic texture, vesicular texture, porphyritic texture, and glassy texture. So, you could read all throughout that. So, mababasa nyo dyan ang differences. Halimbawa, si phaneretic texture, this type of rocks have large minerals. Halimbawa, granite. Si aphanitic naman, it's like too small to see with the unaided eye. Halimbawa, basalt. Si vesicular naman, rocks that has many pits from gas escape. Halimbawa, basalt. And porphyritic texture, rocks that have two distinct grain sizes, halo-halo, large and small. Halimbawa, andesite aka porphyry. And yung glassy texture naman, they do have obvious minerals. Halimbawa, obsidian. Yan. So, proceeding with your activity on the types of igneous rocks as described, different examples of igneous rocks are given below. Now, just kindly supply the missing information to complete the table below. Where would you be basing your observation then and your answers on the statements right above? Okay, balikan nyo yung mga previous na na-discuss yan na mga phrases and sentences, and it will give you hint or idea how to actually answer this one. Okay, like for example, halimbawa si rhyolite. So sa types of igneous rock niya, given siya, and yung crystal size niya is also given. Now, just give out how it is being formed then. Is it from magma or lava? Or is it cooling fast or cooling slow? Okay? So on and so forth with the rest of the numbers. Okay? So that's just your activity for today then. Still, I do look forward that everyone, by what I mean everyone, literally everybody should be doing their tasks properly on time, diba? So let's make it a habit that we are doing tasks on time so that we don't get backlogs from our subjects. I know this is a very demanding time for all of us, but still I do look forward that you take your time to visit your Google Classroom and take your time in answering your modules. Okay, again, this is Sir Leo, and I'm very happy to have served you well within this semester. Okay, so still I look forward. You have a great day and have a good one. Okay, stay safe, everyone.